In the last 3 videos, I talked about the void, how to get that da shut off, lower your brain waves so low that you go into this meditative state of being, and in that meditative state of being, your mind is no longer attuned to the civilization, but is attuned to the void. And in the void, you have self-reflection, and the more you go to the void, the more your brain, like a muscle, adapts to being in the void. And the real expert is in the void 24 hours a day. Let me try to demonstrate that. When I do what is known as territorialism, do you want to see what territorialism is? How dare you look me in the eyes? This is a territorial offensive aggressiveness. When you do that to a stranger, imagine I'm walking in society doing that to a complete stranger. That energy that I'm releasing vocally triggers the inner, deepest, primal survival instincts, and that will trigger the flight, freeze, or fight reaction. I guarantee you that. If you are an intelligent human being, you understand what I'm touching. The human mind has certain centers to identify danger. I'm telling you, that's how you make humans identify the danger in social construct. Hey, you! Is that, like, I know how to do that. So when you're in the void, your mind does not register the danger. Because the mind that is hyperactive, scanning for threats and stuff 24 hours a day, the rational analytical mind, survival based, the antenna is open. So 24 hours a day, when a woman would see a man in the dark at night saying, "How dare you look me in the eyes?" I'm telling you the fear levels, and I'm not playing games. I'm not trying to create sensitivities. I'm trying to say the human mind is designed certain biological wirings that humans have no control over. No control over that. So when you go to the void, you're immune. It's like you know there's no fear. Those games, those tricks, those intimidation tactics, that bullying, that type of stuff doesn't work. Because the mind is attuned to other outputs. It's the void. So I don't want to go too deep on that. I didn't want to go too deep on that. I wanted to demonstrate the power. I'm going to demonstrate the power to you. So I gave the instructions. If you want to enter the void, you have to wrap your hands. I'm not going to do it again. This is a way of entering the void. I'm not going to explain it again. You should by now, by watching these videos, know how to do that. When you do that, what happens when you start doing this? The left brain hemisphere and the right brain hemisphere, the positive and negative currents flow through the body. They harmonize and unite, and the core starts spinning. And that spins the energy to the brain, and that is the light entering the brain. Okay? Just that you understand. That's how that works. You fix your karmic account. Your energy field harmonizes. Left brain, right brain hemisphere melt as one. The energy concentrates in the core, and it will rise to the brain. That's what I'm talking about. I made 3 videos about this subject, and I'm making all these claims, the light entering your brain and stuff, and how. Let me come online to you, and let me show you. Let me fulfill the claims. Let me show you what you can do when you attain this quote-unquote void enlightenment. When the light enters your brain, what activates? Let me show you this thing. So in Dragon Ball Z, they show you guys with like a fiery substance flowing out of them. That's what it is. Once you purify your karma, all the blockades are gone, and the energy flows through your core and will go up, and the excess energy will just wave around you like a shield or like a cushion. Stuff cannot find you because of this energy field flaming upwards. The better your karma, so the stage of the point where the core activates and starts spinning and starts fueling your brain with the light, the more light you have, the higher the flame, the faster, like a torch. And it works as an aggressive force, but also as a defensive force, because everyone else's energy doesn't arrive anymore. It becomes silent. More levels of silence, and another level of silence. It just becomes more silent, and in the silence, right, when the enlightenment has occurred, when the light enters the brain, You see your own energy field. You can sense that. You sense the energy field of the others, and then you can see the own strength of the energy field. Like a Dragon Ball Z character, you can see the energetic, fiery things going up. So with that, I can look around me in the void. I can see the void with all the energy like nobody else. Only when you have this state of consciousness you can see this. I make a claim. I'm going to prove the claim. So there are all kinds of things in the void, and one of the most interesting things you will find in the void is called the church. Religion and church. Become aware. So I have this energy in my brain, and this gives my brain the capacity to function and solve problems, whereby I can resonate my mind, the energy field around me. I can go like, and focus the energy field upon the subject of church. Making a focal point where the energy should be spent at. What do you think when you hear the word church? Maybe we should talk about something else. And why should we talk about something else? There was an accusation that Jesus Christ made to the Pharisees in Israel. Jesus Christ accused the Pharisees that people went to hell because they didn't want to have religion because of the Pharisees. The Pharisees, the priests, were so whatever was wrong with them that people just didn't want to associate with religion. Get rid of this stuff. Whereby people, when they hear the word religion, they were like, get rid of this stuff. Get this away. So people don't want to connect with God or anything of that nature because they saw the Pharisees. Were like, get rid of this. Whereby the reputation of the Pharisees, the priesthoods, was so bad that people want to just get rid of this. Okay, so I want you to slow down your brainwaves and think. When I use the enlightened brain with the current energy level that I have, the spinning core rising to my brain, and I'm observing that, I can see what that is. People have countries that reform. Countries have civil wars, countries come and go. There is a certain level of adaptation. Countries adapt. You can change countries, but you can't change religion and church. Many people that I know, they believe, but they don't go to church because they know there's no talking, there's no negotiating. You're going to hit the wall of church politics. The church does not have any respect for the truth. The church only respects the politics. The more spiritual you become, the more intelligent you become, the more you will see that no matter what thought you're spending, you're wasting your energy. This thing ain't going to change. So this is the mental processing power. I'm showing you the mental processing power. It has nothing to do with church. It has nothing to do with critiquing. I'm going to show you the mental processing power. That's all I'm doing. So if you have the problem, right? The problem is a church that doesn't move no matter what. Even countries move. Once upon a time, once upon a cycle, countries come and go and they have revolutions and stuff. Countries change. Church and religion doesn't change. So there is something out there that is a super solid wave of energy. There's something out there in humanity, in the system of humanity, that is so solid that even the brightest of the brightest upon the brightest upon the brightest, all united at once, cannot move that institution, not even 1 fucking millimeter. That's how powerful that force is. You can move countries, but you ain't moving religion. This force, called church politics, is so solid. And no enlightened master, nothing, no emperor, nothing can move this thing. That's how strong this thing is. Right? So on every single level, people are realizing there's no talking, there's no communication, just leave. Let's just leave. People don't negotiate with the church. You obey or you leave. And most people come sooner or later to see this is that religion. There is no possibility to adapt. This is just a brick And people are leaving the church by the millions because they're like this. We're sitting there, we're following the rules, and there's no reward. Why are we doing this? 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay, so all the Christians are performing the 1 plus 1, but there doesn't come a 2. So the people are like, why are we doing this? This makes no sense, and there's no change possible. So people, what they tend to do is they practice their religion in private. There's this mountain. That's all I'm talking about. I'm using the power. Look at me. In humanity, there's a giant mountain called religion and church. Man, you cannot nuke this thing. You cannot change this thing. It will stay like this. It was like this, and it was like that 2,000 years long. It is no up and down. There is no coming and going, and there is no revolution. There's nothing. It's a solid thing. How do you break it? That's the task, right? So I'm using the enlightened brain. I explained to you how to do that. So when the energy of the enlightened brain, the fire coming up, the electricity of the flow of energy, the life force, when it sees that negativity in the system, it wants to escape. Everyone who is confronted with this subject, who wants to escape, let's focus on something else. This is a dead cause. Let's just focus on something else, or let's rebuild in some other way. Let's not leave the white elephant in the room. Nobody wants to address this problem. Nobody knows the answers to this problem. Nobody even knows where to start. So I'm just using the huge mountain that cannot be moved. The mountain that Jesus Christ himself talked about. Jesus Christ accused the Pharisees. People are going to hell because you blocked the door for them. You are so wicked that the people don't want to go to heaven because you're going there, and they don't want to be associated with you. The hatred that people have for this religion because of the Pharisees, Jesus addressed this. So this is one of those, you really use your mental faculties. This is a problem people do not touch because it's too complex. So I'm going to touch the problem with the enlightened brain to show you the power. That's the only reason. No social critic, no church critic, don't want to change anything. I just want to show you what the fruits are when you complete the journey and the light enters your brain. That's all I want to show you. So to understand, so when you're in the void, right, and you're in this meditative state, and you have all the energy of the world to explore the void, and you come to see this organism called the church. It's like my mind's like a wave, and the church is like a brick. It's like I can't hit the brick with the wind. Most humans see the church and they're like hitting the brick with the wind. It just doesn't work. So how do you destroy the brick if you're just wind, right? This is the dilemma, and this is how you solve the dilemma. What is that energy? If I have a positive energy and there is a negative energy among humanity that is so strong that no human can do anything about that, that is so strong that Jesus Christ would talk to these Pharisees and accuse the Pharisees of throwing people into hell because they're blocking the pathway. This thing is so negative, no human on the earth would even try to address it. No human wants to spend thought or energy on it. People just hope it dies or goes away. They know it won't ever change. This is the pure hopelessness and the pure despair. There is an organism in the void called the church or the religion. This thing is so much despair. This thing is so strong and so untouchable, and it's so negative. Where do you start? First, you have to analyze the energy. So I'm using the problem-solving capacity of the enlightened brain, just to show you how that works. I focus my energy on that organism called the religion of the church to see what it is. It's like a brick, and we're like the wind. How does the wind take down the brick? Okay, brick? Solid energy? What? So we humans need to eat. If I tell you to stop eating, you can't stop eating. It's a brick. The human desire to eat is like a wiring so deep in the human, I can't make you stop. If all the food on the earth would be poisonous, you will still eat it because you're wired to eat food. So if there would be an infection on the earth, if the earth would be infected and all the food would be infected, I can tell you day in, day out how infected the food is. You're going to eat it because that's wiring. So the church and the religion is on that level of wiring in humanity. It's unmovable. So when you use the mental capacity of the enlightened brain to see the void and see the organism called church and religion and see how stable that is, then you see the quality of it, and you see it has the same quality as food and air and all the other basic necessities of humanity. You can't uproot it and you can't change it. This transcends politics. This is ingrained in the human. Even the human that denies heaven still believes in something. Whether it's evolution theory, whatever you believe in, to believe is a human need like eating. You can't change it. So in the void there is this organism or this energy or this substance that feeds human beliefs. Cannot be touched. It's a universal basic necessity. There is something in the void that feeds humans with beliefs. That's this wall. Unbreakable. It's like you can't tell people to stop being fed a belief. It is that deep. So why is the belief intoxicating the world? So this is the problem solver capacity. So imagine that there are 6, 7, 8 billion humans, and then the humans before and the humans before, they all have done things with the belief. So they ate the food, and the food has an instruction manual. They believed. And then the blood made an account with the belief, and it's negative. So all the millions and billions of humans have only negativity. They fed negativity into the organism, and the brick became denser and denser and denser and denser and denser and denser, and it became a fucking solid. And now there can be one human with the enlightened brain or whatever, looking at that energetic blockade in the human destiny and go like, oh, okay, how do you break this brick? You don't. I have the karma purified to one human. This brick is like 10, 20, 30 billion people. This brick holds account of humanity. Humans eat, humans believe, and the account of the belief is in the brick. You ain't changing the church, because the deeds of humanity created the nature of the brick. So to fix this, you need to fix the karmic account of 30 billion people. That's how positive. Your positivity, your karmic positivity, the fire above your head, the enlightenment in you, the energetic power that needs to rise to your brain. To even challenge this, you need to have the positivity of 30 billion people to even twist this thing from negative to positive. That's what you're facing. That's why nobody's touching it. So I'm showing you the power of the enlightened brain. I can conceptualize the unconceptualized, and I can analyze, constructivize, I can make it logical. I can logicify why nobody can touch the church. It has nothing to do that it's untouchable. It has to do with it's a basic design. The universal basic design. There's a portal of belief, and it has a memory. And humanity has deformed this portal, and what you then see is the religion and the church, and you can't change it. It just stays negative. To fix that portal, the amount of good karma you need to make that move into the human destiny, you all individuals can forget about that. And you know it. You all know it.